Medical gaslighting is probably the number one reason why you feel uncomfortable with advocating for yourself. Medical gaslighting can be defined as manipulative behavior by your doctor that's used to minimize or dismiss, blame, or blatantly ignore the symptoms or pain that you are having. Some examples of medical gaslighting include the following. You're not screaming, so there's no way you can be at a level 10 pain. Or, if you only read the support groups on Facebook, you won't find the people that this treatment worked for. These people just go away from those groups when they find stuff that works, and they go on and continue living the rest of their lives. Try this one for medical gaslighting. We can't give you the treatment that you asked for. You're just seeking drugs and you want to be drugged. Can you see the manipulation in these statements and how they blame the patients for what's going on with them? They're the ones suffering. They shouldn't be also being blamed for all of their symptoms, because in most cases, it's not your fault. Medical gaslighting causes both physical and mental harm. Here's some signs that medical gaslighting might be happening to you. You might start to feel like you're imagining your symptoms, or just nobody's listening to them. You might also begin to feel isolated by the medical system. You might get called overdramatic, or that you're exaggerating the severity of your symptoms. Your symptoms and pain might continue to get worse or just not be treated if you are being gaslit by medical providers. So if you're freezing up when you try to advocate for yourself, it could be because of the medical gaslighting, but also medical gaslighting can create a trauma response. And this trauma or fight or flight response that you have also includes freeze. So when you sense that intimidation of somebody trying to medically gaslight you, you might freeze up because you don't know what to say, but you also might freeze up because it's a natural response to what's going on. And if you feel like you're not going to be heard, or what's the point of speaking up, then you might be less likely to do so. In order to stop that freeze response from happening when you need to speak up for yourself and when you need to be able to tell the doctor very truthfully and probably pretty bluntly about your pain and your symptoms and how that's affecting your quality of life, you have to remind yourself that it's okay to speak up about this and that it will be safe, or that you may have a good outcome this time when you do try to speak up for yourself, or when they might not fully understand what's going on. You may need to be like, hey, this is my experience of my life, and if you're having so much pain that you can't even function, yeah, that's a problem, and that's something that needs to be talked about with your medical provider. But it's absolutely okay for you guys to stand up and speak for yourself. But in a situation where you feel like you've tried to speak up for yourself, or you've tried to ask people about accommodating you and they still don't, that might be a sign that it's time to walk away kindly and peacefully, because sometimes it's just not worth the fight, especially if they have really deeply ingrained beliefs against disability or against accommodating people for whatever reason. Sometimes those exist, and I've had to learn kind of the hard way that I can't always fight those things. So what would be a situation where you have to just stop fighting? Well, if fighting the fight is detrimental to your mental health, that might be a sign that it's time to walk away. But if fighting the fight is necessary in order for you to be able to function every day, yeah, you gotta fight that fight, even if it is. If you guys would like to learn more about what to say when you're advocating for yourself you can click over here and watch my next video. I will see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching.